Hi everybody, and welcome to these how-to videos from Kerapod featuring our support products from Esotec. On these videos you're going to learn in detail how to get the optimum results from all of the Kerapod keratin smoothing treatments. So why use Kerapod, everybody? Let me tell you about the incredible refined ingredients that we have within this range. Firstly, we have 3 different proteins in a complex that is really going to build and strengthen the hair. We have hydrolyzed keratin. Now, hair can deplete keratin, which means that the hair will lose its youthful radiance. So the keratin is going to strengthen the hair. We have hydrolyzed collagen. Collagen is going to go into the hair and really kind of plump it out and make the hair much more youthful and much more vital. And we also have hydrolyzed vegetable proteins that is all about natural strength for the hair. Now, to complement this even further, we have an incredible refined ingredient of Kalahari melon seed oil. What this melon seed oil will do is push a surge of moisture into the hair, giving it a beautiful, youthful appearance and an incredible shine. So at this point, let's move on to show you the how to use Ultimate Smoothing Treatment from Kerapod. What you'll see in this forthcoming video is the perfect application, how to blow dry and the effects that it has on Ultimate Smoothing Treatment, how to do perfect ironing at the correct temperature and ensure that the client gets the optimum result from her Ultimate Smoothing Treatment today. When we're going to choose what we use within Kerapod, it's really important that we do a thorough consultation. And within that consultation, as I'm going to do with Bree today, is to really know what are the concerns that Bree has on a daily basis with her hair, what she finds difficult, and the type of result that she wants to see at the end. What we would do next here is look at the texture that we're dealing with, because anything is achievable. What Kerapod is going to do for me for the type of end result that Bree is looking for is it's going to create the right canvas for her to manage her hair well. We can alter the texture of the hair. We can make it very, very easy for her to style. And I know in this case, the Bree actually lives in Florida. So let's think about what that means to our clients, as in a lot of places around the USA. It means that the hair is affected very, very much by humidity. So the anti-humidity aspect of Kerapod is so perfect for her. She has curly hair, as you can see, but it's like so many curly haired clients. A very good friend of mine always says that when you've got curly hair, every day is an adventure. And I'm sure you'd agree, Bree, wouldn't you? That what it does one day, it never does again. And so, like so many typical curly haired clients, if we look at Bree's hair, you know, she has a beautiful movement in her hair, but it tends to frizz. Huge problem for her. You know, she gets these frizzy bits around her hair, and I know because we saw Bree yesterday and it wasn't frizzy at all. And here she is today with a little bit of frizz going on, Bree, correct? Okay, all right. Now, the look that Bree is going for and she really wants from the pictures that she showed me yesterday really is a forward graduated shag. Now, as you all know, with this texture, unless she works on it a lot at home, she's not going to get that look. So one of the key things that we need to do with the choice of Kerapod that we've got today, what is the primary thing that we need to do? And without doubt, it's to reduce this curl. So reduce the curl, and because she's in Florida and she tends to frizz, the secondary would to get rid of the frizz aspect and make her hair anti-humidity. We looked and we established exactly what she needed. We decided which the correct treatment was for the look that she was going for. The first thing that we need to do, any keratin smoothing treatment works within the hair. It will deposit bonds into the hair. It does not break the hair's natural bond structure. It deposits the bonds into the hair, and then they link together, holding the hair in the shape that we're going to give to Brie today. So we have got to set the hair up to actually receive those ingredients. So number one thing that we need to do is to shampoo the hair once or twice with Kerapod clarifying shampoo. Now, what clarifying shampoo will do is it's going to remove any buildup. It could be buildup of product. It could be buildup of, from hard water that's depositing minerals on a hair. Anything like that will create a barrier to those bonds going inside the hair. So we're going to clarify her hair twice to remove all of that. That softly opens the cuticle layers as well because of the pH value of this particular shampoo. So we've shampooed Brie's hair using Kerapod clarifying shampoo to make sure that there is nothing that is a buildup or resistant to the hair receiving the treatment. And what we've done at this point is that we've split Brie's hair into 4 even sections, almost like we used to do when we were preparing the hair to be colored. After doing the consultation, we realized that her hair tended to be a little frizzier at the back and the curl formation was a little stronger. So we're actually going to start at the back. If you are dealing with a client where the curl formation is stronger or frizzier in different areas of the hair, you could actually start your application there. But in general, we propose that you start the application at the back. So I'm going to spin Brie round and I'm going to take this section out. Now from the section, we take subsections. Now here's a few key things, everybody, because I've spoken to so many hairdressers that maybe in the past with the keratin smoothing treatments, they've actually perhaps been a little disappointed in the result. So as we're going through, we're going to point out a few key things to remember that will really ensure you get the optimum result out of the treatment this day. So we're going to start at the back here. And in this quadrant, we're going to take subsections. Now, when we take a subsection, let me show you here. So I'm just going to take this. This is just to show you, because we're going to actually start on the very underneath. When we take a subsection of hair, to ensure that we're getting even penetration of our smoothing treatment, when you take this section, you should actually be able to see through it. If I put my hand, I can see my hand through this hair. That tells me that this subsection is the right type of thickness that I'm going to, when I apply, I'm actually going to get right through the hair. I'm going to take subsections in Brie's hair, starting at the underneath here. And you can see straight away at the bottom, I can definitely see my hand through this hair. Now, as far as application, here's another little tip, everybody. There is no benefit with keratin smoothing to overloading the hair. You won't reduce more curl by overloading the hair. All you'll actually do when you're blow drying and you're ironing it, you'll create smoke and fumes, which is uncomfortable for the client and doesn't look very professional either. So what we're going to do, here's a tip on how to apply. So I've already shown Brie that ultimate, this is her treatment, it's for her. So she feels good about that rather than just like a bowl of some unknown substance that we bring out to the client. So Brie, this is your treatment today. So, it enhances the service aspect. So I'm opening it for her. It will be at its optimum performance because it hasn't been contaminated by oxygen or left open to the elements. So I'm opening it for her. It smells fantastic. So, I think it's really good as well. Hey, Brie, what do you think about the smell of this?
Beautiful, honestly. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, so, why not? The client just feels good about everything. The smell is very fresh, not strong. And, the senses tell you how they feel about the product Is it strong? Does it smell nasty? You know, then they think that the product could possibly be damaging for the hair. So involve the client in what we're doing with the application. So I'm going to pop this down here, and then we use the Kerapod smoothing treatment directly from the pod itself. So I'm using my Isotech tint brush, and I will dab it into the pod. Now, when we take the section of hair, here is the recommendation, everybody. No benefit whatsoever in saturating the scalp. This isn't smoothing the scalp, it's about the hair. So I'm going to do like a dab, just down, for away about ½ an inch from the scalp, right? So a dab, and then down a bit further, about 3 or 4 inches further down, a dab, and then a dab towards the ends. So I'm kind of doing this about every 3 to 4 inches. And then using my fingers, I've got gloves on, everybody. I'm using my fingers, I will start to smooth it through the hair. I'll start to smooth it through the hair. Now what you can do, because very often people love a smoothing treatment because it will reduce volume in the hair. So we do want to get it very close to the scalp, but all you do is use your fingers and push it, push it, push it towards the scalp. Now, if there's any buildup of product on that hair or it's too much product, what we do is we use our fine-tooth comb, and we comb it through. And you'll be able to tell if there's any buildup because you'll see a little residue on the comb. What you do simply with that, everybody, is when you take section number 2, take the next section that, of course, I can see through. Let me see this section. I can see my finger through this section. I would use that little buildup and just put it on the hair like that. And then we start to dab again. So just away from the scalp. Dab. About 3 or 4 inches further down. Dab. 3 or 4 inches further down. This hair is obviously a little bit longer. And then to the ends, I'm going to apply it here. And then I'm going to use my fingers, pushing it towards the scalp, smoothing it through the hair. Smoothing it through the hair. And you really can see when you've got it through the hair because it has a beautiful shine to it. So I've got it right through the hair there, and I can feel that slip. Coming to my last section here, I can see my hand through the section, just as a little reminder, everybody. So holding the section, I'm going to dab it away from the scalp, dab it about 4 inches down from there. Dab it about 4 inches down, and then I'm coming to the ends, and I'm kind of painting it on the ends. Then using my fingers, I start to push that towards the root area with my fingers so that we don't saturate the scalp, but we're getting it throughout the hair. Then pulling my fingers down the hair, really smoothing it through, right through to the ends. And then I'm getting my fine-tooth comb and I'm combing it through. And lastly, before we leave it to process, I am going to comb it through. You know, it's great to get, you know, these little curly hairs that clients get around their hairline. I'm really pulling them into the hair, push them into the hair. So that's going to hold them because there is an adhesive aspect to the treatment. So it will hold the hair in the shape that you're putting it in. I'm going to work around the head just to see how we're looking. And again, this little curly bit, same as on the side you just saw me do. Just pulling it into the hair and combing the hair down. And we're going to let that process. Because Bree's hair is normal in texture, we're actually going to let this develop now for 40 minutes. Normal textured hair, 40 minutes. Coarse, resistant, very curly hair types, 50 minutes we develop. So we'll let this sit here for that time, and then what we do is we rinse it very lightly before we go into our blow drying and ironing phase to remove any buildup that could possibly be on the hair. So with Bree, we developed her treatment on her hair for 30 minutes because it was normal in texture. That rinse is just to take any product that's on the outside of a hair off, which makes it far easier for us to blow dry and iron a hair, because the active product has already gone inside of the hair, and that's where those bonds are going to link together and hold a hair in the new shape. With regard to the blow drying, I do want to state something, everybody, that there's a lot of misconceptions that people have about keratin smoothing over the years. They feel they can possibly blow dry the hair really quickly and then get it quite smooth and straight with their flat iron. However, I want to kind of put them to bed for you. You get the hair at its ultimate smoothness and the most curl reduction by performing, at this point in the service, an absolutely immaculate blow dry. When we finish blow drying Bree's hair, it should almost look like you've already ironed the hair. That's how beautiful that blow dry should be, because that starts the process of the bonds in the hair linking together. And when you're blow drying, you're shaping it so those bonds are linking together in that shape that we want Bree's hair to be in today. And after that, when we iron it, what it actually does is it fixes it. It helps bonds that perhaps haven't linked together to actually link together. But the ironing also smooths down the outer layers, the cuticle layers of the hair, which are going to lock those bonds inside the hair. That gives the treatment its longevity. With ultimate smoothing, she's going to get around about 14 to 16 weeks out of this treatment. So, for the blow dry, what we're actually going to use, to get a lot of the moisture out of the hair, I'm going to use the Isotech flat brush. So we're using that and almost wrapping the hair to get a lot of moisture. Now, it's kind of important at that point in time when I'm working with my blow dryer that I'm using the 2.5-inch nozzle on the blow dryer, because that has a wider air span that will help me to speed up the blow drying when I'm using it with the flat brush. Then what I'll do, depending on the length of your client's hair, I am going to use the medium-sized bristle brush from the Isotech brush set that goes beautifully with Kerapod. I'm going to blow this away from her face most of the time, just for the client's comfort. So I'm going to begin. With the Isotech flat brush, we blow dried Bree's hair around about 80% of the moisture out of the hair, wrapping it around the hair and getting it as smooth as possible. But there's still some moisture in the hair. So what we're going to do, because remember we talked about an immaculate blow dry to get the best possible results. So we're actually going to start to work with the medium size of the Isotech round brushes. And this really will give me that beautiful smoothness. So I already did a section, but let me drop a section. Now, once again, your sections need to be see-through. So it needs to be not too thick. If I hold this up, can I see my hand through it? Yes, I can. So it's important that we do that. Now, here's a couple of tips for you. Usually when we're blow drying, the brush is underneath and we're blow drying down the hair. Always the airflow should be running from the root to the ends of the hair. Always. If you have the airflow going the other way, you're actually expanding the cuticle layers and you're going to create a frizzy result. Now, if one of the things that your client feels is a problem area for her, like her hair is too bulky, the way to blow dry it is actually with your brush on top of the hair. Because if I blow dry it this way, I'm keeping that volume. You can see that the hair is lifting up away from the scalp. However, if I take this section of hair, pop the brush on the top, and just flip the hair over, look what happens to the root area. It flattens. So this technique will absolutely reduce volume as we're blow drying the hair with the treatment. So I'm going to go ahead. Bree has a lot of hair, everybody. So I am actually going to go on top of the hair and flip the hair over the brush and blow dry this so it makes that root direction really nice and tight and reduces volume. Now everybody, take a look at this. You can even feel it. There's a checkpoint for you. Feel the hair. It's feeling beautifully smooth. Look at the shine. You know, the hair is already starting to shine with those beautiful ingredients in Kerapod. And it's laying nice and flat against the scalp. We've reduced the volume. I'm going to continue to blow dry all this hair, and I'll be back with you when we get to the last section and when we begin to iron the hair. We've almost completed Bree's blow dry, and you know, just to remind you everybody, immaculate. You can see that we're blow drying this and it almost looks like it's ironed. And on the mid-lengths and ends then I'm going under the hair. Now a little tip for you, because a lot of clients have this, don't they? That they have these little hairs here. Just pinch them with your fingers. Just to smooth those out beautifully. And my last section. So we come to the last section here. And once again, over the brush. Look at the blow dry, everybody. It's flat. We've reduced volume. We've got beautiful shine on the hair. So the blow dry is, as I stressed before, just as important to getting rid of that frizz, reducing the curl on the hair, giving it a really high condition look, making the hair resistant to humidity. So the blow dry is great. It's not a quick thing. It's a big part of the full service. So we're going to go in, because we've got normal texture, normal porosity except for the ends, just a little bit more porous. We're going to go in at 380. Now, very similarly to how we spoke about the application, I've split the head into 4 sections because we can work very, very strategically through the hair with the iron. So 4 sections, and I'm working on the first section at the back. Now I'm going to take subsections, and once again, those sections we should be able to see through. There's no rushing this type of treatment, everybody. So we've got this quadrant here, and I'm going to take a section right at the bottom, take this hair out of the way, and look how fine my section is. You can see my hand through it. So I'm going to begin to flat iron the hair. And I'm using the Isotech KTX 450 1¼ iron, which is my favorite iron for smoothing the hair. Now, when we iron the hair, here's a couple of key points, everybody. At the root area, we tap the hair. Tap the hair. The reason we tap it is if you clamp down at the root area, any steam that is released from that hair could power towards the scalp, and you're actually going to burn the client's scalp. So you don't want to do that. So at the root area, we take the section and we're tapping, and then we begin to slide down the hair. We slide down the hair, A little slower at the middle ends and the middle ends of the hair, because the hair's in better condition there. The ends are a little porous. I'm actually slipping the iron through the hair quicker at that point. Let me take another section and let's take a look. So taking another section of hair, very fine section. When I lift that up, can I see my hand through it? Yes, I can. So I'm taking that section of hair, and then I take my iron and I'm tapping it at the root, tapping it near the scalp, because you can see that steam release, can't you? So I'm tapping it and then I start to smooth. One of the things you'll note when I'm doing this, everybody, is that my iron never stops. It keeps moving a little bit slower, middle ends there, and a bit quicker on the ends because they're a bit more porous. But it never stops. Now, let's talk about why it never stops. The minute your iron stops moving, the plate is going to mark the hair. Now, think about the fact that when we're smoothing hair, when we're keratin smoothing hair, we're fixing the shape in the hair. If you mark that hair, that mark is going to be in the hair for probably 12 to 16 weeks. So it's key that when you're ironing, that you keep that iron moving. Let's do one more. Let's talk about it, and then I'll work my way through the rest of the hair. So I took my subsection. Can I see my hand? Yes, I can. Okay, I'm holding it firm between my fingers, and then I'm tapping at the root area. Remember, tapping, so the steam is being released away from the head, and then I start to slide a little slower in those middle ends. That's going to be the strongest part of the hair, everybody. And then quicker through the ends, a little slower through those middle ends, and a bit quicker through the ends. Now let's answer the question, everybody, of how many passes do you give? The answer is watch it. Watch it and look for the shine to pop on the hair. You can see it now on her hair. Look at it. You can see the shine. That's telling you you sealed the cuticle layers, because those bonds are already in the hair through the processing time. You've sealed the cuticle layers. It's like locking the jail's door and nobody can get out. That's exactly what's happening. So we know that that treatment has performed beautifully and we've locked it in. Let's do one more. Look at that shine. That's telling me that the hair's sealed. Your treatment is locked in. So when people say 4 passes, 6 passes, 150 passes, that's an old wives' tale. It's about seeing that shine. You know you've locked it in. Got it, everybody? We're going to keep going, and we'll come back to you when we've almost completed Bree's ironing. Okay, going on to my last section here. I'm going to split that down again. And at the root area, tap, 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 tap. Then sliding and never stopping. Sliding and never stopping. A little bit quicker through those slightly porous ends. How beautiful that is, everybody. And dropping it down. And then we've got our front section. Tap, 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 tap at the root area. And keeping my iron moving. Sliding quicker through the ends, but just bending those ends a little bit. You see, it's literally that much, everybody, when we get to the ends, that much. That's how simple and how beautiful it can be. So let's take a look at how our Brie is looking. It's pretty sensational, isn't it? When you think of a hair before shot earlier today, now we have this hair that feels like silk. So we would reach this point, take it to the back basin, rinse it again, blow dry, and if you need to iron, but you possibly wouldn't need to iron. Looking fantastic, Brie. So here, I'm going to take this cape off, and let's just take a little look at Brie's finished look. So everybody, here is our finished look for Brie using Kerapod Ultimate Smoothing Treatment and the tools that we used to perform the service from Isotech. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you found our how-to videos on Kerapod informative. We gave you some hints and tips for things that you will be able to use within the salon. Please keep joining us at kerapod.com, where we will constantly be adding new hints and tips videos on new fresh ways to use Kerapod to get a variety of wonderful high conditioning results. Thank you so much.